Tapos bringen to free car. It's not at stay 5.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker. This is also another broadcast coming to you live from sunny but cold California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and heavies are having a fantastic one. Because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is Saturday. That's right. It's Saturday. More like Saturday. More like Saturday. You already know what it is, folks. God. Yeah, so the court injunction came in to put a pause on ICE activities. Not sure how much they're going to follow through on that, but now that that exists, you have another mechanism of law enforcement. You put fucking cops and the National Guard everywhere. You make them form a fucking meat shield around the protesters. If and only if ICE agents still try to do some fuck shit, still try to do like illegal arrests, illegal apprehensions, illegal detainments on regular ass Minnesotan civilians and citizens for what they consider to be a crime, then you arrest them. It's that simple. Because the courts are already on the side of the fucking protesters. You cannot just go in and start detaining people willy-nilly. They already didn't have this power, by the way. ICE does not have the legal authority to randomly detain American citizens. They are a immigration law enforcement apparatus. It's that simple. Also, this is funny. Yeah, why are liberals freaking out about this? Don't they love process? This is literally their thing. Exactly. This is why it's very fraudulent when a lot of liberals on the internet will say, Hassan, your ideas are so radical. You're fucking crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. I spent a good deal of time talking about process, about how liberals could utilize process to gum up the works, could utilize lawfare to make things more difficult for these people. The problem that I have with liberals by and large, like Democratic Party operatives by and large, is that they don't even want to do that because they don't have the will. That's what's so fucking frustrating about it. Because most people just, I guess, encounter me on the internet in 30-second clipped increments, and that's it. They just make up their minds off of that. And they think I'm just like a naysayer that's constantly complaining about the Democrats over and over again. Yeah, bitch, I'm complaining about the Democrats because they're not doing anything when they should be doing things. It's that fucking simple. Here, I'll give you an example of this. This is something that took place last night because I had the time and, you know, I was willing to entertain it. This basket case guy says, Hassan also refused to endorse a candidate that would have prevented all of this, so I'm not sure why he thinks he has much of a moral high ground here. I said, Liv's trying to do this in 2026 can't be serious. I warned the Dems in person at the DNC about the dangers of letting anti-immigrant rhetoric go unchecked. They got cold feet when they saw a couple mass deportation polls and totally conceded to the right. Now here we are. This guy comes in and says, why are people bringing up my election takes 1 year after the election, which led to the current administration? Can you imagine the audacity if they bring it up next year too, or God forbid, up to 4 years after that election? To which I responded with, very funny not to acknowledge the problems with the campaign, same as the harm reduction narrative failure as an election strategy. Luckily, most voters aren't as stupid as you. One day we'll defeat the GOP and you'll act like you were there all along, just like y'all did with Zoran. I work with the Democrats, right? I don't shy away from working with the Democrats, but these people act as though I don't ever work with the Democrats at all. They make it seem as though my arguments are actually silly, right? They make it seem as though I'm not coming at this from a morally consistent position because I see the danger ahead and consistently warn against that danger becoming reality. And then when that reality happens, they go, whoa, how did we get here? Well, it must have been because harm reduction narratives should have worked, but it didn't work. And they should have worked because you're stupid. The voters are stupid. That's the only argument that they have. I have fully acknowledged the problems with the Democrats in the past and blame them for not picking the right messaging. But this has nothing to do with you failing to mobilize your vast audience to help stop Trump. It's obviously not primarily your fault, but I think you should have done more, and you should next time if some centrist wins the primary. Also, next time, please don't draw false equivalencies between fascist and Democrats who aren't good enough. I said, you fundamentally misunderstand everything I've done for the last decade of my career and are capable of only thinking in terms of 30-second clips if this is your summation of my work. My criticism of Dems on policy and politics is about their concessions to fascist messaging. Maybe I could be misled from people who hate you. I'm not implying you could have won Dems the election, but you could show me something akin to you. One, telling your audience to vote for Kamala Harris to stop Trump, and two, phone banking or door knocking in swing states. I think your audience is the bare minimum people should do to help win. I'll be doing this in the midterms this year and would gladly support an initiative you start with my audience and money. He still doesn't get it. It's always just do more, forehead. And I experienced this. It's never enough. It's never enough for these guys, okay? It's just shut the fuck up and vote for the Democrats. It's never, don't ever offer any valid and viable criticism as to why the Democrats are probably going to lose the election once again, because if they do, then it's your fucking fault. It's never the campaign's fault. This is what's so frustrating about this argument. Yeah, he's doing the vote blue no matter who, and it's not even an election right now. It's blue MAGA arguments over and over again. Why are you defending the mediocrity of the Democrats that have constantly fucking lost elections to the Republicans over and over again? I don't understand it. I don't understand why you reflexively defend the Democrats no matter what. It is very frustrating because that reflexive defense of the party is precisely the reason why the party can put forward bad candidacies and bad campaigns in general over and over and over again, and then lose to the fucking fascists. And then when they lose to the fascists, they turn around and go, you know what? The people didn't actually vote hard enough. It was always the people that was at fault. Bitch, your job, you got billions of dollars. Your job is to make sure that the people think you're a better choice. You failed on that. You failed on that for a litany of different issues. Mamdani is actually smart, so there's 0% chance that Hasan doesn't turn on him. That's awesome. I mean, Hutch is professionally wrong all the time, even though he does it for free, so it's even more pathetic. The reason why I'm bringing this up over and over again is because these guys literally have to create fan fiction with the Democrats that I do work with, right? People that I have actively tried to get elected. It's never enough. And I'll give you the best example of why this is never enough. 2016. I was a major Bernie booster, okay? Big time Bernie bro, right? And then when Hillary Clinton won, I sucked it the fuck up and I said, you got to go out and you got to vote for Hillary Clinton because Donald Trump presents a tremendous fucking problem for the American future. And I was right. These guys still yelled at the Bernie bros though, including myself, because they moved the fucking goalposts and they said Bernie presented too strong of an opposition in the primaries that ruined Hillary Clinton's brand. Then they said, you didn't fight hard enough for Hillary Clinton, even though Bernie Sanders did more for Hillary Clinton than Hillary Clinton did for herself. It blows my mind. It blows my fucking mind. Was Hutch even pro-Zoran? No, none of these motherfuckers were pro-Zoran until Zoran actually reached a level of popularity that made it so that it was obvious that he was going to fucking win. These people also don't return the favor. See how they reacted by propping up Cuomo against Mamdani? Exactly. Best thing Hasan could do to help Mamdani execute on his agenda is stay the fuck away from him, lol. It appears it didn't really affect him negatively in any way, but go off, King. Yeah. No, thanks, Hutch. No, you were there all along, buddy. You're right. Hutch was bitching about Mamdani's favorability numbers in August. No cheating. Don't look it up. If you guys had to guess what Mamdani's public approval ratings are nationally in the state of New York, not New York City specifically, where do you think he lands? Professionally wrong. Don't listen to these dipshits. I mean, I don't even need to say this because no one actually listens to these dipshits. Yeah, it all stems back to this fucking clip. Your words, not mine. When I'm talking about Kamala Harris's policies on Israel, which is identical on the issue of Israel, is identical to the Trump administration. It was a part of the reason why she lost. I honestly didn't know that Zoran was part of Uncommitted. That slightly complicates things. Personally, would still adhere to the principle, but I get why folks are salty about it on the spot. You just shaded Mamdani for condemning Hamas, you dumb bitch, lol. He also boosted Mamdani when he was polling single digits, while you were crying months later that he was part of the Uncommitted movement. Hutch, I can have reasonable disagreements with people that I communicate with and correspond with on a daily fucking basis, privately, and even sometimes publicly, okay? It's a normal and healthy fucking attitude to have towards your representatives and towards the politicians that are supposed to represent your interests. I know this is a foreign concept for you because you only have one speed, which is just eating the dick of the Democratic Party over and over again, even when they actually fucking steer this goddamn country into a devastating direction by consistently losing to the Republicans over and over again, no matter how fucking bad they are. But it's fine. It's fine to have some disagreements with your politicians, even if you know them personally. Why does Hutch hate you so much if you talk to him? He eats Destiny's dick on a daily basis, and Destiny's only driving motivator is how much he despises me. So even if he actually has an interest in like shitting on the Republicans, which he does, Destiny to his credit still fucking despises Donald Trump and maybe even most of the Republican Party as well, and Elon Musk too. He still hates me more than all of those other people combined. So that's why they don't have any sort of like decipherable real political opinions, or it comes across like they have no real consistent position on anything other than fuck Hasan. Hasan is the biggest issue. Destiny has quite literally said that I'm worse than Adolf Hitler for American politics. that he would rather vote for Adolf Hitler over voting for me. There was like a couple months prior when the Zoran stuff was heating up, there was a real debate in that side of the fucking liberal content creator sphere where they were sincerely talking about how I would be worse for America than Adolf fucking Hitler. These people have said that I'm worse than Candace Owens. They've said that I'm worse than Nick Fuentes. You only arrive at that unserious position if you are utterly devoid of serious analysis. You only arrive at that position sincerely if you're just a fucking insane person who is motivated purely by spite. These are my haters, man. These are the guys who are still trying to latch on and pull down the stupid ass liberals in the establishment side of the Democratic Party. They speak to an audience of no one, and I don't even know why they still do this dumb shit, okay? If you're smart enough, you should not entertain these guys at all. Here's my take from August 2024 on the Dan Le Batard show about the Dems' failure on immigration as they pivoted to the right, what that would look like after a potential Trump victory, and how the ratchet effect works. Because he's still fucking trying to argue with people in the chat, in the replies. Hello, you can literally just type Kamala Harris in his YouTube channel and just find his opinion here. I don't think the accused should have to be the one prove anything if the accuser hasn't even done a modicum of good faith research. This is a video of him saying, I understand the harm reduction argument, but the politician has to earn your vote. Am I missing something? He cites Roe v. Wade overturned as Democrats aren't fixing women's rights. But that would only happen because Hillary didn't win. He's literally describing the Democrats' policy on immigration as the same as the Republicans and displaying a gigantic graphic that says the two-party system is fake. He says, in 2028, Dems will run on mass deportations. The whole video is exactly what my original post was. I thought maybe this guy was good faith. Okay, but right here, it's very clear that he's not good faith. He's just doing the same thing over and over again. What I was talking about there is the Democratic Party running on the Trump campaign's 2020 policies, because that's precisely what they were doing in 2024. And that is exactly what the problem is. No, that's a D stand. Whatever, dude. Maybe they have fans that aren't bad faith and they've just been deluded into thinking that like I represent this like dangerous threat or whatever, and that I'm not making a serious attempt to try and educate people here. Here's the thing. These guys are bad faith, but they don't actually command a lot of influence over liberal Democrats in general. They are speaking to an increasingly smaller minority within the base of support amongst liberals. I don't want Republicans to win, but I also don't want Democrats to turn into Republicans. It's not only bad policy, but it's bad politics in general, because Democrats turning into Republicans as they try to moderate for this like reasonable voter in the center is an abject fucking failure. And luckily, I don't even have to make this argument that much anymore. I said it before the DNC. I said it during the DNC. I said it over and over and over again. I had to take any opportunity I could to try and educate liberals that this kind of messaging was bad and would lead to a failure. But now that failure has come, and therefore a lot of people are also aware that this kind of messaging is bad, and they're looking for something different now. I feel encouraged nowadays. At least liberals recognize that the party lost again, and therefore they're looking for they're looking for an alternative. They're looking for someone who will actually fight, someone who will actually push back against the Republicans doing all this fuck shit. So these liberals are actually speaking to a much smaller audience every single fucking day that they do this kind of stuff.